if they want to bring the fans on board, if Andrew Kavanagh wants to be the Pied Piper, you can't say that I can do that with one problem, but here's, two of the even bigger issues that we've got, and they're flanking me into this press conference situation to appoint the manager. I think that's could be a potential credibility issue. Although right now, I guess the Rangers supporters are just happy that this, ridiculous process has reached an end and they've got a guy that's in position. Whether or not it's the right guy remains to be seen. And what I would also say is, I'm just a little bit concerned about this concerted effort almost to sort of devalue and dilute the position of manager. It's no longer manager, obviously. And I think by even appointing, as Mick was saying there, a young 36-year-old guy that's best achievement to date as a manager or as a head coach is a 12th place finish in the English Championship. That strikes me that the guys that are making these calls don't quite fully understand the demands of the sport, because on no basis up until this point would that be deemed an acceptable candidate for the position. There's a whole bunch of stuff, even the fact that today, and traditionally Rangers, the manager would be unveiled and announced to the world in the Blue Room, which is like the beating heart of the football club. It speaks to the tradition and the history. And now it's in an auditorium for the media. It's just little things like that where I feel they're not connecting with the support. And I can understand that they feel they want to go a different way, and they can point to the fact that, there was Rangers guys in charge of Rangers for the last however long, and they've won one title out of the last 14. So it does need change. But there are certain things that I think they need to be careful with, because Rangers supporters, after all the experiences, all the trauma they've been through over the last 15 years or so, they're extremely wary. They've been told by other people coming in that we're here to fix things, and I think through no fault of Andrew Kavanagh's or anybody else in there, there's a bit of a legacy issue there, a bit of scar tissue. It makes no sense in many ways, because the Americans have come in, they've not chanced their way in through the front door, they've had to pay their way in, and they've spent considerable sums in order to do that. So you've got to then reach the conclusion. The fans and the Americans are coming at this from the same starting point, which is they want to see Rangers successful. That's the logical conclusion. It's just a matter of how the Americans are doing it right now. And there are certain little things about it that I think will cause concern amongst the Rangers supporters. Because all they've ever really wanted from day one was to make Rangers look a little bit more like Rangers used to look, and they're going in a different way. And I'm not sure that if they were getting good advice, they'd be doing that right now.
Yeah, but this is the thing that the American owners are so reliant on the guys on the ground to run the show.
The guys on the ground got no experience of Rangers either, mate.
This is the problem. I mean, Andrew Kavanagh, he says, listen, he sneaked in, he says, when I joined the organisation, which is obviously like, what? It's natural that he's an American, and he's very well scripted. I thought he was good. But he's relying on these guys on the ground to do the business, and he'll live and die by these guys in the short term. What might eventually be the case if he is getting let down with these guys, he will have to replace them, the same as a manager. Yeah. So he's made the call.
This is last chance. I think right. This is last chance. But they might well and that managerial structure that's in place.
I think so. I think it's now, because now what will happen is there'll be a wee bit of quiet about the guys off the field in the suits. I think now focus on the dugout, seeing what this new head coach can do. If he can start getting results and the team's looking aggressive, and this word he was hunting and all that stuff, and I think that will get the fans on board. If he gets a couple of results quickly and they like what they see, that will start to fade away, the noise with the background. Then we'll get to January and see what happens in January for in the transfer window in terms of recruitment, because then the whole focus will go back on to the guys behind the scenes. So I don't think they're out of jail by any stretch of imagination, but I think now the focus will be on the pitch and on the manager. And if the manager can't hack it, then they are going to be in bother again, because this is clearly their guy. I think I get the impression. Listen, I'm only speculating, but the guy, the Americans at the top, seem to have went down a kind of chasing guys by kind of fan forums. But I mean, we'll go try and get Gerrard. That's what they want. And Gerrard's like, well, actually, this doesn't really suit me right now. Thanks for the offer, but no thanks. Right, well, they've been wanting Muscat for 5 years. Let's go and get Muscat. No, actually, I can't start to whenever. And plus, I don't like the sound of this nonsense. I'm not coming either. So there's a conflict of the kind of a serious business and following kind of almost like the following the winds the fans are going. And I get that as well, but you've got to just have a singular vision and confidence in how to run a club.
Did you not think though that obviously the Americans and Andrew Kavanagh and Parag Marath put their name to it, an open letter saying, look, guys, we are sorry, this hasn't gone well, but we have now got our boots on the ground. We are going to take control of this. We're going to sort this out. And I think that the move towards Gerrard and the subsequent pivot towards Muscat was very much the Americans saying, right, we better come up with something here.
Well, they'll put the finger in the dike of the fan movement. Like, that's who they want, so that's who we'll try and get. Even though clearly they couldn't pull it off.
I don't know, Mick. You know, why did it fall down? Why did both of these things fall down? I think for very similar reasons, and those reasons were sitting left and right on the stage of Andrew Kavanagh today. I think that's a concern, and also I'm a little bit troubled by the fact that at the time when it was Gerrard and Gerrard was flying in from Bahrain, from somewhere Danny Rohl's name emerges. This is a serious candidate as well, you know. Okay, so then Gerrard is basically talked out of it in the end, and Danny Rohl is installed immediately as favourite. And then the Americans move towards Muscat. And when Muscat looks like he's getting it, for whatever reason, Danny Rohl publicly withdrew from it. And we've got a clip on that when he was asked about it today, Daniel, don't we?
Aye, let's have a listen. If we can.
It's not there. We'll get it when we get it. But
I think I've seen these comments about it earlier on.
The point I'm making is it felt a little bit choreographed to me that he pulled out as Muscat was in the driving seat. And it basically left the Americans in a situation where if for whatever reason they couldn't get Muscat over the line, they're absolutely snookered because the last sort of safety net's just been removed from him. And then all of a sudden, despite pulling out on the Thursday, he's in Glasgow on the Monday. There's just issues around it, and the fact that Danny Rohl was actually a named candidate back in the summer when the Americans were having nothing to do with the recruitment process for a manager. That was all on Greta Steinson and Thelwell. And I think for all these reasons, there will be a little bit of suspicion, and it's not helpful. And I feel sorry for Danny Rohl. Because clearly I think he's well-intentioned. He clearly believes in himself, and he's going to have to back all that up now with results and performances. But it's a bad starting place.